Now we get to talk about this one that leapt off the page. I mean, this one just absolutely leapt off the page at me. Leicester City plus 130 at home, hosting Crystal Palace plus 210. The draws plus 240. Anthony, thank you for the job you did convincing me to bet Crystal Palace last week. I'm back in. It was demoralizing watching them just underperform my bets. Like you made a good point that they were kind of performing to where the market expected. They're covering spreads, but I bet money lines. So it was a little disappointing. However, I'm back. And the point was, how can you get disheartened when you look at the schedule they played? City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, first 5 of their first 8-9 games. So that's why you basically just throw out the numbers with Palace. You look at these two teams almost in a vacuum, and you can use the Leicester numbers, and they're terrible. They don't defend well. They're not creating scoring chances. We've talked about it every episode about Brendan Rodgers. Sean Dyche apparently is in talks to become the new manager, but
thank God.
But
he's back.
Will we see that happen? Who knows? I mean, it's just such an awkward situation. And you're getting Palace. They're plus 210 at Bet365. I know they're on the road and they don't perform well, but how can you look at this number and not be all over the Eagles here? This is where they're going to start trending up. The schedule lightens up. Leicester have been one of the worst teams in the Premier League. They followed up a 4-0 win against Nottingham Forest with a loss to Bournemouth. And the numbers don't show that was an unfair result either. It's got to be the Eagles here. It's just got to be, BJ.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree with you. I don't really know why Crystal Palace is sitting in North 2-1. I think the reason why is because of their numbers this season, right? Like, they're not good. Like, if you look through Crystal Palace's numbers, like, they have the highest expected threat allowed. Like, they're 18th in non-penalty expected goals allowed. Like, they're dead last in box entries allowed. Like, it comes down to the fact that maybe the market is saying, like, hey, Crystal Palace has been really bad this season. But like you already mentioned, they've played an incredibly difficult schedule. They've played Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, and Newcastle. Well, the matches they've played against Villa, Leeds, and Brentford, they only allowed 3.5 expected goals. And this is still the same back line that allowed under 1 non-penalty expected goal last season. So really what it comes down to is I think the market is saying, like, hey, Crystal Palace, they've been so bad this season. This is basically an all-in spot for Leicester. They have to win. They're sitting in dead last place in the Premier League. But this Leicester, I mean, we've obviously highlighted how bad their defense has been. A lot of it has to do with Danny Ward. They've still also allowed 15 big scoring chances. They have some injuries now that, Ndidi is out, Mendy is out. So they're basically going to be relying on Soumare to be their only defensive midfielder, because at this point, Tielemans and Dewsbury Hall do not do a ton of defensive work, which basically allows teams to just play right through them. And then you look at their offense. They've been incredibly reliant on James Maddison just scoring wonder goals from outside the box. They're averaging under 1 non-penalty expected goal per match. Madison's got 5 goals off of 1.2 expected. And stylistically, this is not a good matchup for them, because we just saw them try to break down a low block. And what happens? They created 1.2 expected goals. They didn't look very good offensively. What Leicester really wants is for teams to press them high. Like, they have good players like Tielemans, like Maddison, who can play the ball through the pressure. Like, they're third in offensive pass per defensive action. But Crystal Palace is going to play a low block. Like, they're playing one of the lowest offensive lines. Their field tilt is around 35%. So trying to get Leicester to break down another low block when they just were very unsuccessful in doing against Bournemouth's defense. Well, how are they supposed to do that against Palace? So yeah, I'm with you. I love Palace. I'm going to take them draw no bet at plus 135. And obviously I don't hate a shot on the money line either. So this is going to be a very fun 7:30 a.m. kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't imagine a better way to start the weekend.
Is Sean Dyche going to be in the stands? That's an interesting.
I'm debating if I want to mush you guys and also bet Palace, because I never win 7:30 a.m. bets. But
yeah,
I agree.
This
agree
is one
entirely.
of those spots where a mush it doesn't even matter. It gets washed. It's just too good of a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just screams draw to me. I'll probably take the quarter goal before I take the money line here, but I obviously don't disagree with taking the money line. This game just screams draw to me. Leicester will probably bang one from 20 yards, as they always do whenever I bet against them. But I mean, yeah, Leicester have conceded the second most open play expected goals in the league. So it's Danny Ward sucks, but like it's not just him. And by the way, that whatever the hell he was doing on the second goal that Bournemouth scored, I have no idea. He just like jumped and like did like one of those like freeze poses and like hoped it would work, and then the guy just ran past him and kicked it in. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to play his way out of the Wales side because he doesn't want to deal with the pressure of a nation on his shoulders in Qatar.
Against our country.
Yeah, exactly.